Well, back in those days, Rick, the clubs used to run this cricket week for schoolboys, and Mowbray's schools were Invermay, Mowbray, Rocherley and Mayfield. So we came along to, back then at the NTCA ground, because that's where all the clubs in town were based, bar Riverside. So we had trials there and I made the team and was lucky enough to be a member of the under-12 side.
I was very similar. There was vacation week it was called then, and I went down and just trialled out. I was a Rocherley primary school boy and just went and trialled out for the under-12s. I think it was under-12s, under-14s, under-16s, and was lucky enough to get picked. I was captain of the school side, Rocherley Primary, and I was lucky enough to be captain of Mowbray under-12s.
Made your debut, I think, with the A grade around early 1980s.
Yeah, 80, 81. Played one game. Was I think Roger was playing, and Franklin Stevenson, I kept to him, which was it was an interesting thing at 15 years of age. The West Indian who was playing for Tassie at that time.
So you were 15 at that stage?
Yeah, 15. I played a couple of years in the seconds and third grade, so I'd had a bit of an apprenticeship.
And wicket keeping for you, did that come it seemed to come very naturally?
Yeah, it did.
You were really
loved it. Yeah.
And
lived for it.
Who did you look up to as a kid?
Well, Rod Marsh was always everyone's favourite, so he was always...
Slept with his gloves.
Did everything with them. Did everything. Yeah,
he had trouble eating pizza with them.
Yeah. Used to road run with them, do everything. Mum used to hate it because I'd be at home slapping these balls into my gloves, and she said, "Can't you keep quiet for once?" Said,
yeah,
no,
Troy and I hated it too.
Yeah, I used to love it.
Roger, for you, I mean, you went on obviously to play cricket for your state, but what did you love about the Mowbray Cricket Club?
I think number one is our friendship and camaraderie. Right from the early days, as a teenager coming in to eventually play A-grade cricket, I had great mentors, Mick Sellers, Brad Jones, Stan Reed, Peter Warren. So with that being the nucleus of the A-grade side back then, Chris Holt was another one, Lenny Jones, he was one of the real characters of the club. So they were great people and made you feel welcome and sort of encouraged you, to do well. So, it was a good grounding.
You played with obviously one of the great bowlers yourself. They've had some incredible bowlers, pace bowlers at the Mowbray Cricket Club, and one that a lot of people may not be too familiar with that he really rated was Peter Warren. Tell us a bit more about him.
Peter was, he's the best bowler I played with, full stop. Like, he should have played a lot more state cricket, Peter. A really good fast bowler. He could bowl on the spot all day, sort of Glenn McGrath-like, and was, I'd say, the most feared bowler in the NTCA, probably in the state at the time. Used to sometimes not take a lot of wickets because too many batters played and missed. Very quiet on the field, didn't have a lot to say, just did it with the ball. So, yeah, and a great person.
And in terms of your love of the club, I mean, as you said, you went on to coach 5 seasons there as coach. How much does Mowbray Cricket Club still mean to you?
I mean, as you get older, you fade away with your own families and all of that, but I can only speak of the fond times I had. Like when I turned up, I was 12 years old. I sat in the corner because, you didn't say a lot. You just listened and learned, didn't you, Rog? You just sat there and you learned, and if you said something stupid, you had about 8 blokes just all over you, just, saying, come on, you know better than that. Like, I never said much till I was about 18 or 19.
Then you couldn't shut him up.
Yeah, I took over then. Like, you hopped into it. And, but you had such a good... I had 3 great years in the seconds and thirds when I started. Like, you can't talk highly enough about having a bit of an apprenticeship, playing a few years with some old Dave Sarridge, Brian Lynch, Len Walsh, Mark Illingworth, just the old stages. Brian Swindles was another I was very lucky to be around. And they just super apprenticeship. you know, and then things just panned out for me, and A grade came, and away we went.
Now, Roger, for you, obviously went on to play for Tasmania. What are some of your great memories representing your state, particularly seeing you came across at the Mowbray Cricket Club when you were 12 to then represent Tasmania?
Yeah, I sort of got into the Tassie side through the retirement of Peter Warren. Brad Jones had contacted me about Peter retiring from cricket, and Mowbray, he said, look, we need another bowler. We're sort of, you know, our stocks are looking a bit low, and I said, I wasn't really going to play cricket. I'd actually just joined the Mowbray Golf Club, and I said, okay, I'll give it a bit of a shot. And in one of my first games back, I took 6 wickets against South on the old Cornwall ground, which is now the car park of the basketball centre out at the NTCA complex. So sort of word got round, and I got into the state squad and ended up, you know, going all right, I suppose. So that was my way in.
You bowled well in some trial games, didn't you?
I bowled okay in some trial games,
Yeah.
and Tassie were a bit short on bowlers, and there was a few players coming from the mainland that were trying out.
Yeah.
So
Cluffy had gone, hadn't he?
Cluffy
Peter
had gone to
yeah.
Western Australia, so you know the stocks were down. Greg Wilson had finished up.
Yeah.
Wilson was, you know, exceptional.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I got in and did okay.
Well, you did. You went on, you played representing the Australian PMs 11 against England as well. I mean, that must have been a massive thrill.
Yeah, that was good. Toured Zimbabwe with the Australia A for a month. We had a pretty good side there. Robbie Kerr was captain, Dean Jones was vice captain, Bruce Reid was in it, Tony Dottermaid, you know, a lot of guys that played for Australia.
The man next to you, to your left, talk about getting your opportunity. Young Australia, PM's 11. How stiff was Richard play for Australia?
Well, Richard, in my opinion, and I've said this many times, I think he was at the time the best keeper in the world. Definitely the best keeper in Australia. And, you know, to have Richard as a friend, we got on well, we did a lot of things together and, you know, trained together, played together at club, state, and, you know, to have him keeping, to me, I'd probably owe him half my wickets or more.
You wouldn't room with me. You got rid of me pretty quick.
I wouldn't room with him
Buckingham copped that.
Yeah, after the first.
A bit hyperactive, Rick.
Well, he couldn't shut him up, and
yeah, I'm still no, not really.
And
always pinging around.
the wicket-keeping gloves smacking the ball into him all night.
Yeah.
Honestly, that drives you mad after a while. So I soon handballed him to Danny Buckingham.
Bucky copped it. Poor old Bucky.
When you hear this, how does that make you feel?
Oh, look, it's nice to get accolades, but I don't think much about it.
Richard would feel embarrassed.
Yeah, well, Roger knows me very well. I do feel embarrassed about it, and the only time I think is, I wish I played in a different era. I mean, you can't turn back time or whatever, but I wouldn't mind being a first-class cricketer now, even though the Sheffield Shield's been washed down, and it's not, I don't think, the competition it once was. I mean, it was so strong, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Test players used to play all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but it'd be nice to be a young player now in today's era.
It made sense for us to be Mowbray at Mowbray.
Mowbray, yeah.
Richard used to prepare the ground, the wickets, and they were bowler friendly because
Well, the more court Souls was better for me.
We had Roger Brown, Troy Cooley, Donald Gardner, Greg Campbell.
Yeah.
So we had a reasonable bowling attack, and Scotty Plummer, when he came in, was bringing up the tail,
him and
was
Shane
pretty
O'Byrne.
useful too. Shane O'Byrne, so we had a pretty useful bowling attack. So it sort of. It probably lacked a little bit of, it would have been nice to have had a picket fence around it or something, a bit of atmosphere.
Yeah.
but we had good support out there. So that sort of was that era through the 80s.
Yeah.
And then eventually, obviously, now Mowbray are here, based here.
I think it was late 80s we moved down here, wasn't it?
So it's been a long haul to get to
Well, I was
career.
captain when Ricky first started out. Yeah. He was 14 or something when he debuted.
I did teach him a little bit about batting in the in the third grade game one day.
Yeah. Well, he had a couple of years in the lower grades as
Yeah,
well.
well,
He played with his father, I think.
Yeah, he played with Graham, and he played in the second grade grand final at 14 years of age or something. So, and then obviously, you know, 15.
He did all right after that.
He was all right. He got an A grade 100 about 16 or 17, and then they whisked him off to the academy.
Yeah.
And that's
The rest is history.
He was
The rest
always,
is
you
history.
could tell he was going to be like a gun from when he was, I used to come and watch us play NTCA ground. There'd be a net full of kids, as they did, while we were playing. They'd be in the nets and there'd be kids bowling, and Ricky had been there batting. So we'd go out at our normal start time. We'd see Ricky go in with a bat. Boys, all these kids are bowling. We'd come off for lunch. Ricky'd still be batting. They'd have lunch, the kids. Then we'd go back out. Rick would go back in the nets. They'd be bowling. We'd come off at tea. Ricky's still in there batting.
Yeah.
So,
well, they had to change the rules, didn't they? Vacation week.
Yeah,
They couldn't
so-
get him out. He'd had 400s in the first 4 games and played over a week, and then. Yeah,
and he was in the that was in the under
You better retire.
16s, and he was 12 or something.
Yeah. His fielding was the first thing that
phenomenal.
struck me.
Yeah,
I thought, what? You're 12?
yeah.